Done.
All right, cool. All right, welcome to the call. So this is a combined team call with Team Push to Purpose, Team Inspire Action, and Team Dynamite. Thank you for everybody for getting on. It's awesome to see all of you, and I know it's a busy evening, lots going on, so we really appreciate you taking the time to get on. So Andrea and I are sort of business partners, and we brainstorm a lot together. And I was on a call with one of my coaches and really talking about kind of how to stay energized through this year and into the new year. And Andrea happened to text me right at that time, and I thought, Andrea is awesome at this, and I know she's been really working at her own vision, her own work towards her longer term plan, and then how to break that down to make it effective for the shorter term. Because to keep working towards those goals for that long term vision, you really have to break it down. So I thought, hey, let's get out together. Let's bring our minds together. And Andrea's going to share with us some thoughts, some stories, some inspiration, and really help us think through what we want to do for our longer term vision, our longer term plan, and then breaking that down. So thank you again to all of you for getting on. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, and Andrea, take it away.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody on the call. And I'm actually Facebook Living this too. So if you're joining us, hi. All right, you guys. So I have a lot of information that I want to share with you guys about personal vision and about dreams and just having like a purpose and goals for your life. And but before I begin, I want to share with you guys a story. And now my Push to Purpose girls, you guys have heard this story. You know my story. But I want to share this with those of you guys who maybe haven't heard it before. The title of this call is The Power in Burning the Bridge. And I now that I understand what burning the bridge means, I clearly can tell you 2 times in my life where I did that. And I'll tell you what burning the bridge means in a little bit, but let me set this up for you guys. All right, so I used to work at Salvation Army. I was a social worker there. I loved working for the Salvation Army. I loved being a social worker. I loved helping people, right? So I went to school for, I loved it. But during Christmas time, our hours were very, very long. And it was the craziest time of the year because you've got red kettles and during the Salvation Army's Christmas time, we reach out and we do like outreach to people who need help, right? And so we worked a lot more than normal. And I was a salaried worker. So I was really putting in sometimes, you know, I would go into work at, I think like 7, and sometimes I wasn't getting home till, I don't know, like 8:30 at night sometimes. Okay, so this particular night, it was my daughter's Christmas concert for their school, right? Like I'm sure your kids, like if you've got kids, they have Christmas concerts. Now, if you know my daughters, they have very curly hair. And I always share this because this is an important part of the story, you guys. They have curly hair. And honestly, I'm the only one that does their hair. I don't know anybody else. My mom doesn't do their hair. Their dad has tried to do their hair a couple times. You know, I mean, I do their hair. And so getting them dressed in their Christmas dress and doing their hair after school is a big deal for this Christmas concert. And I wasn't able to do that because I had to work. I wasn't able to get them ready for this Christmas concert. I wasn't able to take them to the Christmas concert because I had to work late that night because I was in charge when the red kettles came in. And I was devastated. My girls were devastated. Mom, why? You're not going to take us, Mom? Who's going to do my hair? Who's going to get me in my Christmas dress? And I just felt really bad inside. And I remember getting out of work and I was like rushed and panicked, and I was driving over to the church really, really quick to get to this concert. And I walked in and it was the last song of the concert. And my girls had already sang, like their grades had already went. And I had this feeling of dread. And I knew I was going to lie and tell the girls they were awesome and I was there, but inside I wasn't there and I wasn't okay with that. And I remember driving them home that night, and I had on my Salvation Army shirt, and I was driving them home, And it was that drive home that I burnt the bridge. It was that drive home that I could no longer miss out on so many important parts of my kid's life because of work. And it wasn't that I didn't love what I did, because I love social work. But my kids were only young ones. And I missed their Christmas concert because I was at work. And that was unacceptable to me, especially when I had this opportunity. You know, at that time, I don't know how long I had been a coach. I don't even know. I think I was maybe just an emerald coach. And so it's not like I was like, you know, very successful. I wasn't. I was just kind of like dabbling. It was there, but I was so busy with my full-time job and the kids and everything that I didn't really do much with it. But it was that drive home that night that I burnt the bridge, because I didn't know how I was going to make coaching my full-time job. I didn't know how I was going to become my own boss and be in charge of my own time and be present in my kids' lives. But I knew that I was going to do that. And I knew that if I helped enough people reach their goals, then I was going to reach my goals. I didn't know how long it was going to take. I didn't know what it was going to take. But that drive home, I burnt the bridge because I had just had enough. I'd had enough of missing out on my kids' lives. I had had enough of, you know, when they would wake up in the middle of the night and they're sick and I was like frantically calling my mom trying to figure out who can watch the girls, because I didn't have the sick time to take. And I'm trying to arrange sitters and all that. Like, I was done. And so that night when I drove home, I burnt the bridge. And I said, by the time that I'm 30 years old, I'm gonna be my own boss. I'm gonna control my schedule. I'm gonna wake up every single day and love what I do, and I'm gonna have purpose. And so, you know, I can't explain it any other way than this. A couple weeks after my 30th birthday, I was able to leave my full-time social work job. A couple weeks. It took me about a year and a half, you guys. But I know for a fact that that car ride home was a pivotal point in my life and in my business, because I burnt the bridge. Failure was not an option. And when you get to that point, call it the universe, call it God, blessings. I don't know what you believe and I don't know what you call it, but things happen and your mind starts to think differently, okay? And it wasn't until recently that I realized that I burnt the bridge. I was reading a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I was reading it because my life coach, Josh Coates, said, Andrea, every single month from now until the end of the year, you're going to read Think and Grow Rich. You're going to read it in October, and then you're going to read it again in November, and then you're going to read it again in December. And there's a story in Think and Grow Rich, and it's about a man that burnt the bridge. And when I read this, I'm like, that's exactly what I did. I burnt the bridge. Like I'm done just half-assing stuff. I'm done just not going for it 100%. And so I'm going to ask you guys here on this call tonight, if you're a coach, or, you know, if you're on Facebook Live and you've got something that you want desperately for your life, and it's you haven't moved into that. You haven't decided that, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to figure this out, but I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to urge you guys tonight to burn the bridge. And what that means is there is no going back. You will, regardless of how long it's going to take, you are going to accomplish it. And so that's what burning the bridge is about. And that's the only way that I can describe how I was able to leave my full-time job and go full-time Beachbody by the time I was 30 years old. I truly, truly believe, you guys, that when God gives you an assignment on your life, when he places an assignment on your life, he will give you the means to fulfill it. I read it in Lisa Nichols' Abundance Now, but I've always known that, and I believe that 100%. If God has placed goals and dreams within you that seem crazy, that seem like so impossible, that seem like so far, because you are so just loaded down by the day-to-day and you're just in that grind of just getting by, or maybe you're going through really rough times right now, but you still have like that seed, something inside of you that like you've got this vision. If God gives it to you, then he will give you a way to fulfill it. But you have to be prepared to move into that. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And this is in Think and Grow Rich, and it's true. You guys, this business, creating your dream life, having a personal vision, it's all about your thoughts. Everybody had to start somewhere. Everybody had a day one. I mean, it isn't easy, but if you start to believe in your mind that you can achieve this, then your actions will start to align. You must burn the bridge daily, and tell yourself, I'll tell you what, when I decided that by 30 years old, I was going to be my own boss, when I decided that I was going to, and I didn't know how it was going to happen, but it was going to happen, because I'm not missing out on my kid's life anymore. I'm not going to request sick days anymore, or have to think, can I plan vacations, because I don't know if I have the time or the days to be available. See, once I burnt the bridge, then I started telling myself every single day. I started becoming obsessed with it. It was affirmations. I acted as if I was already there, and I wasn't. I was still working 50 some hours a week. But what changed was my mind. What changed was my thoughts. What changed was my beliefs. And it's because I burnt the bridge. And I truly, truly think that if you're a coach right now and you're on this call and you're struggling, or you're feeling like you're in a slump, or you're not moving forward, I'm going to venture it's because I'm going to guess it's because you have not really connected to your vision. Maybe you don't even know what you want. And then B, you're not moving every day towards that. You're not doing the actions that you need to do to achieve that. So here's some pictures, you guys. So this is my girls. I go back every Christmas and we drop off toys at the Salvation Army, because that was I love that organization. And that time in my life was it was a defining moment for me, because what I understood and realized was that once I burn the bridge, once I decide that I am going to achieve something, then I'm powerful enough to do that. I can do that. And I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know what it's going to require of me, but I can achieve that. And there's one other time, you guys, that I burnt the bridge, and I cannot explain this. And I'm sharing this story with you guys because I want you to understand the power in this. And then we'll start talking about, how do you create your personal vision? How do you do that? But let me tell you one other time in my life that sticks out to me like so vividly, that I burnt the bridge. This is a picture of me and my success partner, Sarah Try. Okay, so Sarah and I, we started working together in the beginning of the year, in January of this certain year. I don't even know the year, but we started working together, and we said we were going to hit 5-star. We were going to hit 5-star diamond, and we were going to get that bonus. The bonus was like $5,000 or something like that. And that bonus represented a lot to me. And I remember being 72 hours out of the deadline to hit 5-star, and I needed 7 more coaches. And I had exhausted all my resources. There was no way I was going to get 7 more coaches on my team. And I remember having a call, and I called Sarah, and I was crying. It was a Monday night. I'm like, this is over. I can't do this. Like, I'm not going to hit this goal. And she was like, shut the hell up, quit your crying, quit feeling sorry for yourself, and get moving. Like, you said you were going to do this. There is no backing out. Failure isn't an option. This is the deadline you gave. This is what you said you were going to do. Now get it done. And do you guys know that on the exact same Thursday morning, Sarah and I woke up as a 5-star diamond coach on the exact same day of the exact same month of the exact same year? How else do you, there's no way to explain that other than when you get to a certain place mentally that you burn the bridge and there is no going back, things happen. And what you're working towards, it happens. And it's real, you guys. And for these 2 examples of when I burnt the bridge, I can give you 20 examples of that. I never hit the goal. I set goals and I didn't hit them. But when I look back on those goals, I didn't burn the bridge mentally. I didn't go all in. I didn't become obsessed with it. I didn't do daily affirmations to tell myself this is what I'm going to achieve. But these 2 times, I did, and they came true. And so that's why I believe in the power of burning the bridge mentally on your goals. Listen, if you're going to create a breakthrough, if you're going to reach a new level, then you will need to move through fear, uncertainty, and discomfort. It's your personal vision that's going to keep you in the game when things get difficult. So listen, you're going to have things in your life that are going to go wrong, right? You're going to go through divorces. You're going to go through marriage struggles. You're going to go through sicknesses and job losses and financial stress. You're going to go through being so busy that you don't have time. I don't know what the curveball that life is going to throw you. I don't know what is going on in your life right now. But here's what I do know. If you're going to have a breakthrough, if you're going to reach the next level, then you are going to need to move through your fear, uncertainty, and discomfort. And you want to know how you continue to move through that fear and that discomfort and that uncertainty? It's your personal vision. How connected I've called it your North Star, your why. What is your why power? Why are you doing this? I invited my cousin onto this call who just started her photography business. And so whether it's a photography business or coaching or whatever it is for you, if you are going to get to the next level, then be ready to go through fear, be ready to go through uncertainty, be ready to go through discomfort, and understand that your personal vision is what is going to keep you on track. All right, so let's talk about this, you guys, because if you're somebody right now and you're feeling like you're in a slump, or you're feeling like you're struggling with like what to do next, then I want you to take a step back, and I want you to figure out what does living abundantly mean to you? What is your personal vision? What does your perfect life look like in 5 years? Because here's the thing, you cannot hit a moving target. If you don't know what you want to achieve, then you are just going to wander. And nothing good just happens. Nothing great is just going to just wander into your life. It doesn't work that way. Not when you're trying to achieve big things. Not when you're doing stuff for your family to make life better. It requires being very intentional. Okay, so I want you to write these things down, and I want you to think about when you start to create your personal vision, and when you start thinking about what areas of your life do you want to improve. I want you to think of your spiritual life, your faith life. I want you to think about your relationships, the relationships with your spouse, with your parents, with your children, with people, with friends. I want you to think about your family, your income. What do you want financially? What do you want to achieve with your income? And let me tell you this, and this is just a side personal note. It's not about making more money. It's about managing the money that you make. Okay? So what do you want for your income? What do you want for your health? How do you want to look? How do you want to feel in your own skin? What type of lifestyle do you want to live? What type of lifestyle do you want to lead? Do you want to be able to take your family on vacations? Do you want to be able to do things that you can't do now? What do you want to do for the community? How do you want to give back? How do you want to impact the community? Right? Because here's the thing, when good people are successful, they do more good in the world. Good people should be successful, because that means that they're going to do more good with their time. They're going to do more good with their money. And I believe that every single one of you guys on this call, you are good. Your intentions are good. And when you become successful, when you have an abundance of money and an abundance of time, you will take that and you will do good within your communities. And what type of legacy do you want to leave for your family, for the people that you love most in this world? You guys need to think about this. You need to connect to this. This is what is going to keep you in the game when life throws you curveballs. This is going to keep you working when it would be easier to sit around and watch TV at night. I don't know how many people are on this call right now, okay? But I'm going to tell you this. Out of hundreds of people on our team, there's not hundreds of people on this call, and most people are probably sitting around watching TV, or they're just scrolling on their phone, or they're laying around in bed. They're not showing up here. In order to live abundantly, showing up and being very intentional about the areas of your life that I just mentioned, it's required. So I'm going to ask you guys, and this is what I asked my team, and if you were on my team call last week, and you did not send me your 5-year plan. Like, I'm not happy about that. And that's probably why you're on the call this week. And I'm going to see who's on this call. I want to know, what do you want for your life in the next 5 years? What do you want for your family? What do you want your income to look like? What type of legacy do you want to have? How do you want to improve your relationships? You guys, sit down within the next 24 hours. If you're married, sit down with your spouse. Sit down with your children and think about these areas, and then start having fun, right? I've gotten really good at leaving my present situation and going into the future and thinking about how I want my life to be like. I think it's kind of been a coping skill that I've really mastered. I don't know. But when you're living in the present and the present isn't great, sometimes that can be really overwhelming. And that can, it can just be hard, and you're just going through the day. Say, who cares about Success Club? Who cares about doing a power hour when you're just swamped by the moment, by the day, by your present reality? What you guys need to do is box up the present reality and go for your future and think about your future and plan your future, right? Because that future, that vision is what is going to keep you doing the work every single day. It's going to keep you focused on showing up and helping people, regardless of who says no, regardless of the rejection, or regardless of what people think of you, regardless of blah, blah, blah. If you're focused on your future and where you want to go, then you can endure the present. Okay, so that's an action step, you guys. These areas of your life, you need to figure out, what do you want in the next 5 years, and be very descriptive. Be very, very descriptive. You need to have so much details. Listen, I have our dream house that I sat down with my daughters and we wrote it out, right? We wrote out our dream house, and what we wanted, and the type of countertops we wanted, and how many bedrooms we wanted, and what we wanted in the basement. And then we framed it, and it's on the wall. It's very specific. It's on our dining room. So if you come over to my house, you'll see it right there framed on my dining room wall. I feel it. I see it. So at night, when I'd rather just watch TV, no, I know what I'm working towards. I know what I want. And here's the thing, you guys, when you're creating these plans for your life, you got to get very detailed. That house it's not just some stupid house. You want to know deeper what it represents to me? It represents memories for my children. It represents a place where my kids can bring their friends to, and they can have fun, and they're present, and I'm the influence in my children's lives. I know who they're hanging out with. I'm the influence on their friends' lives too, because they're around me. They're in my home, right? Instead of hanging out at someone else's home whose parents are at work and not around, and God knows what's going to happen. No. Well, my kids are under my roof while they're still young. I'm going to take every opportunity to influence them and their friends as best as I can. And so having a pool in the backyard and having a basketball court, it's more than just a pool and a basketball court. And so when you sit down and you start writing out what you guys want in these areas of your life, know why. Go deeper. Connect to it. It's very, very important. Okay, so I am going to I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to turn it over. I've got 2 coaches who are each going to take 2 or 3 minutes and share what their 5-year plan is, because when they were on the call last week, they did it, and I was super proud of them. So we're going to start with April. And so April, I'm going to unmute you, and then I want you to go ahead, and I want you to really be detailed and read what you wrote and share with us.
Okay, so hi guys. I'm going to read, because I would not remember all of this by heart, because I just started typing that day and didn't stop. Okay, so I put my life by design 5 years from now. We will be getting ready for my husband to retire from the Marine Corps in 5 years. Unless, of course, he gets promoted again and decides to stay in a couple more years. But 5 years from now, he can retire. So the plan is that we will be moving back to Ohio in the Columbus area. And I call it our Grow Some Roots home. I want to call it our forever home, but I don't know. We may leave after, a little while. Who knows, once our kids get older. But it is our Grow Some Roots home in Columbus. We will have 3 or 4 children, all healthy and happy and good, kind kiddos. We will live, I said, in the Columbus area. I would love more than anything to have a yoga studio and a gym in my house, a home office. A pool is a must. This is the first place I've ever lived that I didn't have my own pool, and it's driving me nuts. A pool and a hot tub and a huge yard for our kids and our dog to play in. Financially, we will be debt-free. We are huge Dave Ramsey fans, so we're going to continue to follow a strict budget and be debt-free in 5 years. We will finally be able to go on actual vacations, not trips to Toledo because we don't live there anymore, but an actual vacation somewhere. And I will finally get a passport and start filling it up. I've never had a passport. The only place I've been outside this country is Canada, and I plan on going all over the place. I wrote down Italy, England, Poland, Spain, Greece. There's tons of places I'd love to go. But I want to be certified to teach fitness classes and have a certification in fitness nutrition. I love food, and that's the one thing a lot of people come to me about. They think I'm some expert. I'm not an expert. I just love to eat, and I like to find ways to make food healthy. So I'd like to have something to back that up. This is the one thing that's really important to me. It may sound silly, but I want to have a huge formal dining room with a huge table big enough to sit. I say most of our family. My husband is one of 5, and I'm one of 4, well, 3 living, but one of 4. So we have a big family, but I want to have a huge formal dining room with a huge table, and I want to host Thanksgiving dinner every year at our house. We will have, with the kids and my husband, we'll have Sunday dinners every Sunday at that table. Let's see, what I put. Oh, Aaron and I will be stronger than ever, continuing to make time for us, continuing to work on ourselves as individuals so that we can be a great pair as husband and wife, providing a great example to our children what a marriage should look like. My business will be booming. I'll have a team of people that strive to inspire others and that have a deep and passionate desire to help other people to get started on their journey. And that's it.
Yay. Okay, so do you guys see how she touched and you know, when she said the most important thing to her is the kitchen table. That's a little detail, but it's an important detail, right? That's how deep I want you guys to get. When you sit down and you think about why are you doing this? Why? You need to really have the details like that because that's important. Thank you so much, April. And I know that it's your anniversary and her husband just got back from being gone for like 2 months. So if you need to go, you can go and celebrate.
I am. Hopefully he's still awake.
Oh my gosh.
I think he is.
Okay. Then the next person is Megan, who is in Hawaii. Megan, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so Megan, and again, you guys, your visions are going to be different. Your personal, maybe you love your job and you don't want to quit your job. I don't know. And that was one of the things Megan was like, I don't know. I'm kind of struggling. And so her vision is different. It's different than maybe yours or mine, but it's hers and it's important to her. So share, girl.
All right. Well, I am very similar to April in that I'm a military spouse, except for my husband is able to retire next month, but he's still going to be in, he thinks, I don't know. At this point, we're kind of treading water. So it was really hard for me to find my why because I still don't know where we're going to end up. We are both military brats, so we don't have a home base. So my goal became, when I read Abundance Now, more of what will it be, no matter where we are, what we're doing, what is going to make us have the life we want. And I came up with a number of $10,000 a month is my goal for us to support our lifestyle, and then more. I love giving back to charity. So like I actually volunteer at a horse rescue and I'd love to have one, possibly myself. I don't know. It's a lot of work, but I do love giving my time and having that extra cushion to do what we want to do, no matter where life leads us. we'll be able to do that. One of our ideas is to do a year RVing around the U.S. to see if we can find a place that we can call home. So that's how I found my why. And I have been a coach for about 2.5 years now, and I just found this why because of Abundance Now and because of everything that's been going on this month. And I've gone from challenge groups with 1 to 2 people in it, and then next month I have 7 already. So we are I can see it coming together.
Yeah. And here's the thing, you guys, literally she's been a coach for years, and she went from once she started to connect to her why, once she started to think really what she wanted, like she started to do the work that was required. And it wasn't excuses all the time. It was now that she's starting, there's passion behind this work now. She understands what she's working for. And now she's working with 7 people. 7. Normally it's 1. So there's something to be said very much for getting behind this. Thank you so much, Megan. Okay, so real quickly, you guys, I want to talk about something. So you know the areas of your life that you are going to kind of create your personal vision. And so here's the other thing. I want to go over 4 pitfalls. Pitfall number one is you don't take your vision seriously. Especially type A personalities. You guys might kind of, I'm not making this up, I read this, but type A personalities, they might think vision stuff is fluffy and daily affirmation stuff is just tell me what I need to do and let me get organized and blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. If I would bet that if I would ask probably 90% of you, how's your year been? How has your year been going? We're in the 11th month of the year. I would bet a lot of you guys are not satisfied with what you've done this year. And it's only because you have not been consistently taking action. I bet a lot of you guys, like myself, is either in a slump or coming out of a slump because you've lost connection to your passion and your vision and your why. And so the daily actions you've kind of tapered off and now you're just dealing with this big old slump. And here's the thing. When you are not doing what you know you should be doing, your brain, it does one of 2 things, right? So when you are not taking the action that you know you need to take for your business because you've said this is what you've wanted or these are the goals that you want, your brain does one of 2 things. The first thing your brain can do is it can tell you that, you know what, those things weren't really important anyways, or it doesn't matter. Or, yeah, I said I want to do this, but my life's too busy right now. And it starts giving you all these excuses and reasons. And then you start to rationalize. So maybe when you first became a coach, you were excited to pay down your debt, or you were excited to make enough money to take your family to Disney World or something. And then as life kind of got crazy or busy and every day your actions were aligning with what you knew you should have done, your brain took the easy way out and you took the comfort road and it justified that that stuff wasn't really important. The other option would be that you take the uncomfortable route and now you need to check yourself and get your actions aligned with what you need to do. Either way, your brain is going to find a way to make you feel comfortable again. So you are either going to justify that your dreams and goals weren't really important and weren't really achievable in the first place, or you're going to check yourself and you're going to get your actions back in line, because that's the only way your brain will get rid of that nagging feeling if you're not doing what you need to do. So I want you to think about you. What has your brain allowed you to do? What course of action have you taken if you are feeling that nagging feeling, right? So if you don't take the power of your vision seriously, if your vision isn't meaningful to you, if your vision is too small, listen, if your vision is too small, it doesn't take very much to achieve it. You're not going to go out of your comfort zone for a small vision. It doesn't require that, right? And if you don't connect to your vision daily, do you see this stuff daily? Are you doing the affirmations? Are you reminding yourself? If not, then that's probably one of your problems. All right, let's talk about 3 quick success tips. When you create your vision, you need to share it with others. Share it with as many people as you can. When I decided that I was going to go full-time coaching, I told everybody. You can ask my sisters. You can ask my parents. You can ask people that knew me really well. I was obsessed with it. obsessed. You might as well thought I had already quit my full-time job, and I didn't. But that's how I acted. And I told everybody that's what was going to happen. Okay, number 2, success tip. Stay in touch with your vision. That's the daily affirmations. And then success tip number 3 is you must live with intention. Listen, you guys, every week counts. Every day counts. Every moment counts. Execution happens every single day. It's what you decide to do every day or what you decide to not do every day that's going to determine where you are 1 year from now. So even though you think that like today doesn't matter or this week or every moment or, you know, you justify not, it matters. It matters. And it's, you know, it's all those little moments added up that get you to where you want to be 1 year from now. Right? And so I'm going to urge you guys, if you are in a slump, if you are not where you want to be, if you need focus again, if you need clarity, if you need vision, then start with your personal vision, right? And then you need to start reminding of yourself. You need to connect with it, and you need to start doing the work, because here's the thing. You can learn all you want. You can have as much vision as you want, but if you're not willing to put the work in every single day, then it's just going to be a wish. It's just going to be a wish, and you'll be like 99% of everyone else who, you know what, the biggest thing they live for is the weekend. They don't have big dreams or big visions. They're living for the weekend or their 2-week vacation throughout the year, and that's what they're excited about, or their Monday off of the day after Christmas or whatever it is. I know, because I used to be that person. And it wasn't until I started really connecting into my vision that I started becoming excited and passionate about so much more than the weekend. Does anybody have any questions at all for me on vision or anything like that? I know we're like 7 minutes over. You can put it in the chat, or you can just, I don't know, unmute yourself, I guess. Any questions? Okay. Nobody?
Andrea.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hi.
Real quick, as far as Abundance Now, that I was talking to Colleen about that particular book. Lisa Nichols, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then that's obviously, I mean, you're getting a lot of this from Josh, I would imagine too. But with that book, what was the other book you mentioned? I mean, as far as personal development, because right now I was telling Colleen, you know, I have you know, the 10X rule, which I've listened to a few times. It hits, you know, it hits certain things for me, and Darren Daily, but I don't right now have that book where I've gotten off course as far as personal development. Not that I haven't done it or listened to it or read it. It's just being specific to one book.
Okay, so follow me on this. So let me just tell you where I've been over the past maybe month and a half that has shifted me completely in a place of being in a slump for my business, for my passion, for my personal development, for everything. Okay, so 2 things happened. Yes, I work with Josh, and that's an important part of everything, because he got me on the right track. So he's got me reading Think and Grow Rich, and not just me. If you're in any of his groups, and you guys can be, every single month we have to read Think and Grow Rich. It's been a pivotal book. It's a rough book to read because it was written decades ago, but it is so powerful. So every day I'm reading 1 chapter from Think and Grow Rich, okay? Then I've got Abundance Now, and I have it on audio. So when I'm driving, I'm listening to Abundance Now. I also bought the physical book so I can highlight things, right? And so my days, I don't watch TV anymore. It's almost like my evenings, it's like, which book do I want to read? It's like picking a TV show. Do I want comedy? Do I want, you know, drama? Like, I'm picking literally from books now. So Think and Grow Rich, I'm reading 1 chapter a day from there. Tony, you can do all this. Okay, then I listen to Abundance Now when I'm in the car. Okay, I got another game changer for you guys. The 12-week year. A lot of the stuff that I presented to you guys today about vision is from this book. This book is blowing my mind. And the thing about this book that, you know, I'm a big vision person, so I'm not detailed. So creating systems and creating plans is hard. I can think big picture all day. This book, you guys, it literally is everything, because it's breaking down like these pages. It breaks down the plans of how you need to do this. And so this book is everything. Like, I texted Sherilyn today. I'm like, you need to get this book like 5 minutes ago. And I'm like, you need to start it like now. And, so because it's very, very specific, and this is the plan right here. So if Think and Grow Rich and Live Abundance Now is like your mental game changer, this is the plan right here. This is like it. Right? And so that's that. And then listen, I want to throw something else out there. And I think this is really important. I've talked to Colleen about this before. So not only am I reading this stuff in like 12-week year, that's like business stuff, right? Think and Grow Rich is like business stuff. But I've been working so hard on all the other areas of my life. So there's books that I've been reading. Through the Eyes of a Lion is about just dealing with tragedy and grief, and Unglued is about dealing with emotion, and Uninvited is about dealing with rejection. And I'm reading all of these books that really have nothing to do with business, but it has everything to do with life, because here's why. You can learn all day from Darren Hardy. You can learn all day from John C. Maxwell, but when life gets hard, when you have a crisis, when you have a curveball, when you're dealing with emotions that you can't deal with, or your past comes up, or you're rejected, or whatever, if you can't deal with life the right way, then your business, it goes, and it goes quickly. And I found that on my team too. When I look at my girls who have so much potential, who are lifetime diamond coaches, they fall off when life gets hard because they can't deal with it. And if you're not intentionally trying to become better, you do get overwhelmed when your marriage is struggling, or, when you're dealing with feeling depressed or financial, or I don't even know, you know what I mean? The old ways of handling emotions and feeling anger and negative thinking, victim mentality, all that stuff. I've lost almost every lifetime diamond I've had. And it's not because they don't want this business. It's because when life gets really hard, they don't stay in the game too much. And I didn't realize it, but I wasn't equipping them to stay in the game. Right. So I would talk to them about business stuff and goal stuff. But what I wasn't sharing with them is, okay, when life gets really hard, how do you bounce back? How do you deal with that? And I wasn't sharing that stuff with them. How do you become resilient? Right. And so then you lose people. And so I think as leaders, and I consider you all leaders because you're here on this call now, whether you have 0 coaches or 10 or 1, you're probably going to be a leader because you're showing up tonight. You need to work really hard at becoming better, and not only for yourself, but to be able to, when these people come into your life, you're going to need to help them become stronger, better people too. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So I've just become really passionate about that too, but that's my game plan. So like Think and Grow Rich every day, that's a chapter. 12-week year is like my implementation stuff right now. And then Abundance Now is what I'm driving to and listening to. And I seriously can't tell you last time I've watched TV because I'm so knee deep in all this stuff, but it's life changing and I'm re-inspired.
All right. Very nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
For the recommendations.
No problem. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, you guys. So here's the thing. I hope that this has helped you. I hope that you create your 5-year vision. I hope that you have fun. I told my one girl, would you please pour yourself some wine when you put Quentin to bed? I don't know if Kylie's on right now. She is. I'm like, pour wine, have a glass of wine and sit down, woman, and think about your future and forget the stress of now and think about your future and have fun with it. And then once you do that, then you'll start kind of getting your actions in line and you'll start showing up more, just like Megan. She went from having every excuse in the world, now 1 challenger to now 7. You want to know the only thing that's changed? It's not the prices. It's not the amount of people. It's her amount of work that she put in because she got inspired and she's connected to her vision. So it's very, very powerful. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And yeah, we'll talk soon. And Colleen, you'll have the recording so you can post that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andrea. Really helpful. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys. See ya.